Okay, so people often ask me, those Super Bowl spots you did, why do people spend that much money?
I know, right? Because there's like, what, $1 million for 30 seconds?
Can be. That's just to produce it.
Yeah, it doesn't count the buying the airtime, which we all know is a small fortune.
Right, or the agency fees before you shoot it.
Yes, right. Very good point.
Yeah, there's another couple $100,000. But you really, like any business decision, Super Bowl spots are the same way. What's the ROI?
Yes, they're very strategic.
Oh, absolutely. It's very strategic. And why would you do a Super Bowl ad? There's a statistic I read that 87% of all people watching the Super Bowl do it for entertainment purposes, the Super Bowl ad specifically.
Oh, yes, because they're all trying to outdo one another, and who's the funniest one, it seems.
Right, they're trying to be funny, they're trying to be clever, they're trying to be shocking, they're trying to, every commercial is almost like a pattern interrupt for those that know what that is.
Right, they're trying to really grab your attention.
Yeah, and they work hard at it, and they do a lot of planning and thinking about it. But is it worth the money is the question.
Well, is it?
Well, it depends on what your expected ROI is.
Right.
And that can be anything. That can be brand awareness. It can be sales, but most people aren't doing ads for sales. It can be to stay in front of the competition. It can be just top of mind. It can be to be talked about. It can be all these other factors that go into an ad. Because a Super Bowl ad is created not just to sell something. A lot of times, hey, new couch, buy it, only $38, right? That's not what you're going to see on the Super Bowl.
No, you're going to see something much slicker than that.
You're going to see it's much more subliminal. It's much more, hey, look at our brand, we're clever and we're cool and ha ha ha, right? Or the shock of something that people do.
Yeah, I can't even think of a shocking one now, but...
Well, they kind of lose their shock the day after.
Right, after you've seen it, it's done.
And everybody's a critic, and everybody they look at them with a different eye, which is another actually good point I hadn't even thought about until actually just now, is when you do video, people are viewing it in a certain way, right? Sometimes they're looking on their phone in the grocery store line. Sometimes they're watching on TV. Sometimes they're on their iPad. So the Super Bowl ads are usually viewed in a room full of people, a lot of noise, and everybody's a critic. Everybody knows better than what's on TV, the people that get paid a lot of money to do these things. So you're trying to please a different type of audience
than a small business owner doing a video.
Right. So if you're a business, whether you're a corporate business or a small business, when you do videos, what's your ROI?
Right.
What do you really want out of that video? That's always the question. And you really have to determine that before you write the script, before you hire the cameraman. I do a lot of strategy calls with people, and one of the first things we do is, what result do you want?
Right.
What's the results you want? What's the results you want? Okay, great. Who's your audience? We hit the same key points all the time because marketing is marketing is marketing. Mm-hmm. And video is just like print or words, only it's in a different format when you get to those basics.
Right. You can always go back to the basics of marketing. It's who's the audience? What's the purpose of this? Where is it going?
Right.
Just like, writing anything.
But with all those things, when you're paying somebody, you want to know what's the ROI on that. Mm-hmm. When you're distributing it, what's the ROI on that? What platform are you using? How are you using it in that platform? Who's going to see it? Those are the key metrics for an ROI. And an ROI can be different for every video. ROI can be different for the same video in a different platform.
Sure, absolutely.
So ROI is this big term, what is that return on investment? Well, the return on investment is you have to meet the expectations that you want in that situation.
Right, which is something that people, that you talk people through and go like, okay, so what are we going to do here? What's the ROI? What's the purpose of it?
Right.
Where is it going? And you walk them through all the whole strategic piece of creating the video before the video is ever created.
Right.
That's when you need to do it, just previously.
Right, so we shoot a lot of video, but we also do a lot more of the strategy. I'm big on the prep and the planning. To me, 80% is that. If you prepped and planned right, the shoot goes smooth, the edit is like a piece of cake because you already know exactly what you've got. You know what's going on. I mean, they do the same thing with the big commercials. They're storyboarded. And I used to work with this one director, and he would literally get pictures of the actors and have the storyboard artist draw them as close as he could to the talent that was going to be in the spot. And they had, if it was the two of us like this or the two of us like this, I mean, he drew it and he would redo the boards and redo the boards and redo the boards. But you could look at that and know exactly what was going to be in frame, exactly what was going to be. So when the editor got it, all he had to do was match the last storyboard, because usually there were like 10 or 15 revisions. But the editor could look at the storyboard and look at the selects, and he just basically dropped it in. I mean, the editors loved him.
Oh, I bet. Make it really easy.
Right. I mean, that has nothing to do with ROI, but that's planning. So to come back to the ROI, not on the tangent of planning, which it all affects ROI though.
It does all affect ROI, because otherwise, if you're having to pay the editor like another 20 hours because you didn't shoot it right, you always say, I love the saying, shoot for the edit.
Shoot for the edit. You know, editors are magic. They're like your housekeeper. You know, we can all sweep a floor, and we can all edit in theory. But there's something about the professional that comes in that does it right. Editors are a dream. However, if you give them a whole bunch of crap, it's really hard for them to make something good out of it. And then you're not going to get the ROI that you want.
Right.
Because they're trying to force something, and whenever you force it, it doesn't work.
Right.
So ROI really is determined by planning.
Yes.
And strategy.
Plan ahead for the best results.
Yeah, I mean, money aside, how much money you spend versus how much you bring in often isn't the only metric that you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely makes sense. Great. So catch us on the next videos. We have a few others in the Super Bowl series.
Yeah, I think we're doing 10 altogether in the Super Bowl series. So search for them.